Everyone. So this is going to be a video that I've wanted to make for a long time, but I haven't gotten over video game addiction. So it's hard to make a video on it when you haven't gotten over it. I finally overcame video game addiction, and I kind of just wanted to talk about why and how, and my current relationship with gaming and my past relationship. So I'll start with a little bit of background. I gamed with all of my free time from I'm 29 now, and starting in middle school, I kind of started gaming. I've been gaming since I was 4 years old, like, you know, all the classics. Super Mario 64. I skipped Ocarina of Time as a kid because I was so busy playing Super Mario 64. I didn't even. And Star Fox was another big one that I played a lot. And then I played 007 GoldenEye at too young an age. And then, you know, I gamed with all of my free time from like college onwards until like recently. So I spent 10 years gaming all the time. You know, I have uh I have thousands of hours in StarCraft 2. I was masters once and then diamond the rest of the time because I spent most of my time in the arcade playing Risk Legacy. And if you have StarCraft 2, there's still people playing it. I play sometimes too. Risk Legacy on StarCraft 2 is a lot of fun. It's European map Risk, and but RTS instead of turn based. It's sick. It's sick. So thousands of hours in that little piece of software called StarCraft, and then thousands of hours now. I have over 2,000 hours in Escape from Tarkov. That's what I did since COVID. So basically, when COVID happened, I stopped working because I I found out after that I wasn't going to get laid off, but our company was doing layoffs and there was a list for that they were going to lay people off, and so I volunteered because I was kind of overworking there anyway, and I didn't want people who relied on their jobs and had kids and stuff to get laid off. So it's like, okay, hey, like if we're laying people off, like I'll like lay me off first. And so they were like, okay. And then I've been doing independent contracting work for my old company ever since, because they were like, okay, well, we okay, if you don't want to be here full time anymore, then we'll lay you off. But I only work there like 8 hours a week now. So the rest of the time since COVID, I was playing Tarkov, and God, I want to say other games, but basically just like team fight tactics. I I would play Tarkov and then have other games going on my other monitors sometimes, depending on what I was doing in Tarkov. Yeah. If you're running labs, you don't want to do that. But if you're just if you're just being a little butthead somewhere, camping something, then yeah, you can alt tab with your audio on or something. But I didn't do that too often, not saying. I was mostly a loot rat, if you must know. So that's enough about my history because basically, long story short, you want to see my Steam list? I mean, can I switch? Oh no, I can't switch to my screen. I have a multi-thousand-dollar Steam library because I'm always buying new games and I know a lot about games, and like I make some gaming review things on this channel, and um love indie games. Have tried making some, also coding them. Love board games. So I'll move on to the addiction aspect now. So I'll make this like a chapter thumbnail where at 4 minutes and 40 seconds roughly. Okay, I'll try to remember. Um, Addiction. Now, what is addiction? I don't really think of addiction as something that is external personally. Like, to me, I've always been able to, like, I smoke cigarettes right now, and I've always been able to quit them when I want to quit them. If you've read the Easy Way to Stop Smoking by Alan Carr, please, if you're struggling with addiction of any kind, just check out The Easy Way to Stop Smoking or Quit Smoking by Alan Carr. And it can't hurt you. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you, but trust me, you know? I haven't read it yet, but I read like the last time I read it, I didn't smoke, and then I'm only smoking now due to, I need to stop. And I am. Um, it's a long story about why I smoke sometimes. But I'm not like a pack a day guy like I once was or anything like that. I'm smoking about one cigarette every 2 days now. So, and then I know I can stop too. Just like I stopped gaming. Because I have, guys, like, I gamed because I'm just going to say how it is for me. Because this is how I think it works, guys. The reason why you're addicted to gaming is because of your life and your own reasons and your experiences. Your relationship with gaming is your relationship with gaming. So it's like someone trying to advise you on love with a romantic partner. It's like I can tell you about my dating experiences, but I can't tell you exactly for your specific experience. So your relationship with gaming is your relationship with gaming. So I think that by listening to other people's relationship with gaming, you have to realize it's not directly plug and play, but you can still learn from someone who spent, especially if you're like younger than them. Like I've gotten a lot of experience just from older people who've already been over the hill. So I'm just going to say how it works for me. And some people will be able to relate and other people won't. For me, first of all, addiction was very personal. And I never considered it addiction. And even now, I wouldn't really. Like, what do I mean when I say addiction? I won't define it by how long I played. Because I always wanted to be playing, even when I wasn't playing. So, even if I. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. If I was sick and had nothing to do that day and I was out of it and I just played chess for 16 hours a day for a month, I wouldn't say I was addicted to chess during that time. It's because I was floored by some illness. That was me with panic attacks and anxiety and all that. And mental illness, bipolar disorder, depression, yeah, so manic depressive, suicidal, like horrible anxiety. My last video was about anxiety and how I deal with that. Oh my god, I mean, and then like, I'm always worried and stuff like that. And gaming gave me an outlet for my anxiety because I could focus on how to win or how to play. I could focus on the challenge. It lets you put all the, like, the world is it's just too much. Like, the world has too much coming at you. And being able to win a game of StarCraft made me feel like ordered and in control. It gave me a sense of competence, like ability to understand something about my situation. It didn't matter if I was in Gold League, Platinum League, Diamond League. It didn't matter. Because the very activity of being able to navigate in the game made me feel like I had a skill and I was good at something. And I never felt good at anything before that. That I wanted to do. I didn't feel anything good at anything that I enjoyed. Because it's like, yeah, like I went to a good school and got good grades, but never because I wanted to. Like, I never cared about grades in school. It was because I cared about my parents' approval and teachers' approval. But it was always approval seeking. So when I stopped approval seeking, I just gamed and got high because that's all I ever wanted to do. So it's like all I ever wanted to do was game, and so I gamed a lot. And I figured that I would just eventually get bored of it and burn out. And I think that that's not really how it works. You have to get over why you want to game so much in the first place. And for me, it's while I was in the addiction, I would have told you that it's because the digital world is better and more free. And escape from Tarkov, you can be whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to worry about going to work in the morning. You can just walk around and loot. It's like Grand Theft Auto, right? You're free. You're more free in Grand Theft Auto than you are in the real world. And it's not because you can be a criminal. I always enjoyed not being a criminal in Tarkov and trying to befriend players as a very high level, ultra geared guy, because I thought it was fun to kind of like try to make your own path in this like open world kind of setting, like lawless setting, anarchy setting. Whereas the real world for me felt very demanding because you have to pay the bills, and I was always so overwhelmed by everything, guys. So if you don't feel overwhelmed by reality, like the real world, and just like, I just mean like surviving in capitalism and fucking paying rent, then I would say that that's a good place to kind of say, okay, I can't relate to this guy, because that was a lot of the reason why I was addicted, is specifically because I felt so overwhelmed with anxiety about having to go to work every day and having to be a good boyfriend or a good fiance or a good this or a good that, and like all the demands. And all I just wanted to disengage, and so gaming was my escapism. If I had to summarize, guys, it's just escapism. So if escapism isn't what motivates you, then it's hard for me to help you, because if I was deprived of video games, like if the power had gone out, I would have transitioned to what I do now, which is literary escapism through fiction. Like I read science fiction and now I write it. That's what I do now. So, like escapism is the main driver. And so I'm going to number like a lot of the things that I would say here. I'm just going to take my watch off because it's bothering me. Samsung watch. It's just cool for exercise, trying to get in better shape. Okay, so there's three main things. I don't know if there's three. I'm going to say that there's three, and then if there's not, then we'll change the number. But there's probably about three main things that contribute to escapism, okay? So number one, for me, was a lack of self-confidence. Gaming gave me a sense of success that I didn't feel in the real world, because I felt like I hadn't lived up to my potential. But it was too demanding. I felt like I didn't enjoy trying to do it in the real world, and I enjoyed doing it on, even just like on a Minecraft server, it's fun. Or on a Rust server. It could have been Rust. Like, if Tarkov didn't exist, it would have been Rust. And I played Rust for a while, like solo only, and I only played Tarkov solo too. Because it gave me a sense of like competent freedom, like I can survive on my own and be my own individual and make it in the world and dominate. Um, Whereas in the actual real world, I was kind of just skating by. Like I was doing as much. I was like Office Space, the movie Office Space, where I was doing just as much work as I needed to do to not get fired, pay my bills, save up money. I've always been like pretty frugal with money, so I haven't had to worry about. I didn't have to worry about like um being swamped financially, but it always stressed me out because I hated working so much. And at work, I would just be reading about gaming all the time. You know, I'd be reading about Tarkov or StarCraft at work. Not Tarkov at work. That happened after work. Yeah, at work, I'd be reading about some game. I played a lot because I stopped playing StarCraft in like 2015 and then started Tarkov in 2020. So, for like 5 years, I was just like playing all kinds of games. So I'd read about Rust, or I'd read about Divinity Original Sin 2, or Grim Dawn, or um God, what are the other games that I have a lot of hours in? I know I'm forgetting like basic ones like Dota. Of course, Dota 2. 200 couple hundred hours. Factorio, you don't want to know how many hours I have in Factorio? What about RimWorld? RimWorld and Factorio, like um you know, it's endless. It's a bottomless pit. And so number one would be that lack of confidence or feeling like you can't make it right in the world. And then the gaming escape can give you that kind of that itch, that itch for competence and dominance. And then number two for me was just straight depression, like not enjoying things in the real world just because I was depressed. And medicine helped with that. But I was still, the whole time I was playing Escape from Tarkov, I wasn't depressed anymore. So I would say that that's why it's not the only element. And because it's like, even after the depression went away, I still felt floored from the anxiety. So there's anxiety, incompetence, and depression. Let's make those the three. So you can be like ADD, anxiety, general anxiety disorder, whatever you want, whatever you want, and then you can have um, you can just be depressed, and escapism helps you for that. Or you can be escapist because you feel like you can't make it in the world right now, or you feel like you're not living up to your potential, or are unable to. You feel trapped somehow, and gaming liberates you. You feel liberated by gaming. Even just solving the puzzle, right? If you like puzzle games, like even just Portal 2 and beating it gives you a sense of like accomplishment. Sense of accomplishment. So that's the escapism element. And then there's also just the fact that gaming is very fun. But the problem is only ever finding gaming fun. Because here's how I feel, guys. I no longer feel like I'm just gonna summarize. I don't want to make my videos too long. And okay, yeah, good. We're at 19 minutes. Good. Okay, so I'm gonna just start closing it out with how my current relationship with gaming, and I've contextualized it to have you understand where I'm coming from. It's like Alan Carr's The Easy Way to Stop Smoking. You don't have to feel like gaming is this evil thing. I have Steam installed right now. I have a million games on my Mac. I have my gaming computer out there. I'm gonna play like an hour of COD tonight. Probably. Just to unwind. It's fine. You know? I could even do that. I could even do that with cigarettes and nicotine. Like like the most hardcore addiction, one of the most hardcore addiction, like just hard, pure chemically addiction property chemicals. You can just be like, oh yeah, whatever, just like, oh, cigarettes, like whatever. And I do that with gaming too. Like, it doesn't matter if it's right in front of you. If you decide to smoke your last one, and this is how it feels for me, guys, is that the way you stop smoking is you realize that it hurts you more than it helps you. It hurts you more than it helps you every single fucking time you do it. Every single time you take one of these, it hurts you more than it helps you. Gaming's not like that, guys. Gaming doesn't have to hurt you every time. It's like if you're addicted to crack or cigarettes, it's like, yeah, just stop. Just don't do them anymore. But if you're gaming, it's like gaming can be awesome. You can form relationships in games. You can foster friendships. You can help. You can keep friendships alive from abroad through gaming together. You can solve all kinds of puzzles. You can help get smarter and faster, like good at thinking fast. And God, like the cool aspects of gaming are endless. Like, that's why I spend my time making games still, because I think they're cool. But the reason why I'm no longer addicted to it is because it's not the only thing that I want to do. And I think that addiction, like, I define addiction as when it starts hurting you, right? And gaming was hurting me because it was the only thing that didn't hurt me. That's the thing, though. It's like, it wasn't gaming's fault. It's that I was depressed and had no confidence. And gaming was something that helped me get out of that. But it could have been fiction. I could have just read a bunch of books and gotten real, it's like, it's all about, like, society being like, oh, you shouldn't have had this form of escapism. You should have had this form. It's like, no, like, I could have just read a bunch of books and written a bunch of books too. Like, spent all day, every day, only reading and writing. A lot of those, like, a lot of the philosophers I studied, like, they were, lonely fucks a lot of the time. And so gaming was like my me time where I could retreat from the world. But you don't have to have gaming as this demon, guys. If it's heroin or tobacco, then yeah, it's pretty much just just stop it. But gaming's not a demon. It's because of the fact that you want to game all the time. Like, this is how I feel, guys. Is gaming the only thing that you find fun? And if so, you have to find other things that you find fun that aren't gaming. That's where you start. Is okay. Every time I'm doing anything at all, I would rather be gaming. Why is that? I don't know. For me, like, whenever I tried to do anything, I would have to have Hearthstone up or some other game on my phone. Usually either Hearthstone or Reddit on my phone. And I would be on gaming subs and stuff. I couldn't go out fishing without playing some rounds or something. Even just chess on my phone. Always gaming. So, and now I'm better at just mindfulness. Like, I have this book. There's books on mindfulness and stuff, but it's just about trying to just be more zen. If you're more zen and just, like, in the moment and just think, okay, like, I'm out fishing, I'm on a boat, and, that's a random, I don't know why I picked fishing. Oh, because it's something that requires patience. So just imagine something, okay, yeah, you're sitting on a train or a bus on your way to work, or you're sitting in traffic on your way to work. And you have the urge to play a game or turn on the podcast or do something to distract you. The way you stop wanting to game all the time is to just learn to kind of retreat from that and practice mindfulness and meditate a little better. And just be like you're just You're just here. It's okay. And just try to not need that kind of ADHD, OCD, constant distraction and rumination. Because that's what leads to the need for an escape. It helps me like put all my racing thoughts in a box. If I had to describe it perfectly, like video games helped me put all my racing thoughts in a box. Um, and find another box. You know, if you're watching a video on addiction, then you've decided that you game too much, and I would assume that the only reason why do you feel like you game too much? Well, I assume it's because you crave gaming when you're not gaming. And there's times when you don't want to be gaming. You you want to game more than you want to. You wish that you could want to game less often or less severely or crave it less or be less addicted to it. Well, I'll summarize the video with how I did it, guys. Like, I just want to do other things now. Like, I still think COD is fun. I still think Tarkov is fun. But why do I not play Tarkov? Because it takes, like, you play for like 10 hours and make like an eensy bit of progress. And I just feel like, well, I can write instead. Like, if you're addicted to gaming, you might be a creative person who just didn't have an outlet for their creativity, so they put it inside of video games. And you can try, guys, like, you don't have to get off the computer too. Like, if you're addicted to electronics, guys. So I'll close out the video with some like key tips. Like, try doing like role playing game stuff, like role playing game servers. Play Conan Exiles, even Rust. Like some servers where there's like a community based. Try doing community based stuff, and then from there find something that makes you feel valuable in a community. And you can do that once there's something that makes you feel valuable to society, you'll want to do things that's not just game, because it'll be like, yeah, I could game all day and that'd be fun, but I could also do X, Y, or Z and that'd be fun also. So it's not that you have to hate gaming or never game again or transform to become this person that doesn't love gaming anymore. Because I always felt like, well, what do you want me to not love gaming anymore? Good luck. Games are the best thing ever, man. Games are amazing. Well, yeah, but there's also other things that are amazing. And practicing mindfulness and meditation helps you reset and get out of the loop, like the gaming loop of always wanting that next dopamine hit, But you can like kind of bridge it, right? Like maybe transfer it into board games. That way you have to do something in real life, like you have to go be around people and stuff. And over time you'll start to find just be less sad and less lonely and less isolated. And you won't need you'll feel like gaming, you'll find it fun but lonely, Kind of like taking a hike in the woods, like fun but lonely. And then if you game with a community of people and that's your social life, like I would recommend, like, you want to have some real life relationships, because shit goes down in real life. So you need people to lean on in real life too. Anyway, final thoughts, like the main thing that I did was find other things that I wanted to do so that I didn't have to. It's like the amount that I want to game has stayed the same. It's just that the amount that I want to do everything else has gone up. So I want to go work out now because I care about surviving. It was like, oh, if I die by the time I'm 40, then who cares? That's why I got so addicted to cigarettes. I used to smoke a ton because it was like, oh, who cares? I didn't care. I thought that'd be good. I was like, dude, the younger I die, the better. So long as So long as it's not my fault and people don't think I was a suicide, the younger I die, the better. And so I didn't care that gaming felt like a waste of time. But guys, I don't regret it. My other thing that I want to say, guys, is don't beat yourself up, man. That's one of the main things that's the easy way to quit smoking. You don't guilt trip yourself. I don't regret it. If I could go back in time, would I have gamed less? No. Nope. I wouldn't have gamed a single minute less. Because my relationship with my life in the world and what I've gone through and stuff, like, I kind of needed that phase, that escape, to be able to breathe a bit and find myself. And, you know, you don't have to hate yourself or be like, oh, like, you know, I was such a loser. All I did was game. Who cares? Or like, oh, like I had no life or I have no life. What's life? Like, if you're having a good time playing games, you have a life. That's your life. It's having fun, and that's a good life. Oh, you have no life. What do you mean? I'm having fun all the time. That's a life. So, you know, and for me personally, like, I always had a girlfriend and a couple real life friends, so I wasn't like a total loner who only ever gamed. So, like, you know, like I could, you know, like it's good to have at least like a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever you're into. Like having sex and having like having someone to go out and eat with and do things with and talk to is important. So all those things can kind of help bring you back more into reality. But dude, I would ignore my girlfriends all the time to game. I would like the first thing I would tell a girl is like, I hope you don't mind that I game a lot. Just like on like the very first date, because I know that if they did, I would be wasting my time because I gamed all the time. And now it's like I don't have to say that because I know that I enjoy other things too. It's about enjoying other things too. So yeah, guys, Easy Way to Stop Smoking by Alan Carr. If you can quit nicotine, you can quit gaming. And you don't have to hate gaming, and you don't have to have this weird relationship with it where like you're like an, you know, you don't have to have this weird relationship like, oh my god, games, no, I can't have them installed. No, screw that. Leave them installed and make it so that you don't want, it's not the only thing you enjoy anymore. You know? And now I just feel like there's so many things I want to do. Like, I want to write. I want to go out and exercise. I want to go hang out with the dog. I want to go, you know, I want to do this and that. And like, and gaming is just one of those things on the list. And so it just doesn't come up as often. And I don't spend nearly as much time gaming, you know? I probably game for like a couple hours, or I probably game for like an hour or two a day now. And, you know, that's a lot for some people. If you think that gaming 2 or 3 hours a day is a lot and I'm still addicted, then okay, but you don't understand what I mean when I say like I used to game a lot. A lot. So yeah, I consider myself like I'm not even a gamer anymore because I only play a couple hours a day. I don't even consider that like a gamer because it's like a couple hours a day. That's like what are you doing the rest of the day? Not gaming. That means you're not a gamer. So yeah, guys, like, you know, it depends. If you have two young kids and you're gaming a couple hours a day, you got to spend that time with your kids. It's all contextual. That's why I started out the video with your relationship with gaming is your own. And you have to take what I say and put it into your own context and apply it only in your own context. And don't let other people tell you that you're guilty, because I don't know why you're gaming. I don't know why you're spending all that time on those games. And I don't think you have no life. I just think that if it's bothering you, it's bothering you, and there's probably a reason why you don't enjoy real life enough to not want to game all the time. There's probably a reason, you know. Anxiety, depression, a lot of things. Like, so yeah, I'll end the video. I know I went way over 20 minutes, huh? Oh my god, 35 minutes? I said I was going to end the video 15 minutes ago. Sorry, guys. Sorry to waste y'all's time. I know you got to get busy, you know. But hey, Tarkov nowadays, guys, 35 minutes. If you're playing Escape from Tarkov right now, you could have watched this entire video in the amount of time it takes you from turning on your computer to getting into a raid. You would just now be getting into your raid. Some of the time, especially on the weekends. It's crazy. Glad I'm not playing anymore. Alright, see you.